Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're back again with yet another random commander that I've randomly generated that I haven't covered before. And today's one is, that way, there you go. Nalia, Dinarson, 1 white and black for a 3/3 human rogue, legendary creature from Battle for Baldur's Gate originally. Look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast Cleric, Rogue, Warrior or Wizard spells on the top of your library. And then if you have a full party, so you have one of each of the pre-mentioned creature types, at the beginning of combat on your turn, +1/+1 counter on each of them, and you gain Death Touch until the end of turn. Yeah, not really sure why I didn't cover this one, because I've really enjoyed Baldur's Gate for the commander set, and this one seems to be missed off the list somehow. And when it came up, I checked it and never covered it, so here we go. Here's my take on this party deck, for want of a better phrase. Hope you enjoy it. So, got 29 creatures in the deck. They are fairly balanced between the creature types. So, we've got kicking off with some clerics with Guide of Souls. And then the first warrior is the Anuk Strike Leader, so we can get those little goblin creature tokens when our commander's in play, so that's cool. Alea, Eternal Pilgrims here, just gives a little bit of death touch, life gain, exile target non-land permanent if we can sacrifice it if we've got 50 or more life, so all well and good. Deep Gnome Terramancers here to help us sort our mana out. And then Jacked Rabbit coming in from Bloomborough as well. Hopefully we can do this for the Ravenous value and get all those lovely little extra rabbit tokens. So that's fine. Lord Jiska Guado comes in from Final Fantasy. At the beginning of each end step, if you put a counter on a creature this turn, you get to investigate, which works really nicely if we get the +1/+1 counters on everyone. Lothal Corrupted Sheriffson just to give us some treasures so we can ramp a little bit more. And then another cleric, Luminarch Aspirant, which I completely forgot was a cleric, so I might as well have it in here to chuck around even more +1/+1 counters. And there, Papillo Totolomo from Final Fantasy also makes an appearance. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, 1 damage to each opponent, gain a life. And then we can sacrifice this off. And, each opponent who lost life this turn sacrifices the creature with the greatest power they control. Probably not going to use that, but the pinging and gaining is quite nice. From the can't remember when Jumpstart final, the basic one. Can't remember whatever the basic magic set was. Anyway, Uden Dracomo Warriors in. I know it's Jumpstart. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Then whenever you attacking the creature with a +1/+1 counter gets first strike. If it has 2, it gets double strike. Fine. Avenger of the Fallen's in, just to give us some mobilization as we go in for the attacking side of things, especially when we've got some creatures killed off. Aven Mind Sensors, one of the wizards, just so we can annoy people so they can only search the top 4 cards of their library. Sin Collector takes out an annoying card from an opponent, and then, basically they get it back when you choose the instant or exiled card from it and exile it, so that's fine. Venat, Heart of Haydn, eventually gives us card draw when we cast legendary spells, and eventually, hopefully, flips over to the Mother Crystal. So the beginning of combat on our turn, +1/+1 counter on another target creature you control. And it gains indestructible if that creature is legendary, and we have a few legendaries in here. Draw a card. Body Launderer is also in. Whenever another token, so a bit of conniving and a death touch, and all the fun and games of returning another target non-rogue creature from our graveyard when it snuffs it. And then Barakos, the party lead, is here. Because it is all of the creature types, it kind of fills the niche roles for some of the things we may be missing from when we're doing the party bit with Nalia at the top here. Disciple of Bolus just gives a card draw on Sack Acolyte. Gandalf, the White Rider, well, I needed a wizard. Why not have the best wizard ever? Well, not in magic, but, fiction, sorry. Should just clarify that slightly. Whenever you cast a spell, everyone gets +1/+0, and you get to scry, and when it dies, you put it 5th from top of your library. That's fine. Gonti's in, because I like nicking people's cards to play myself. And then Jazel Goldmane, just so we can pump everything up when we need to. Hopefully we'll have 5 spare mana at some stage to win the game with. Kamba the Plunderer makes an appearance as well. When we kill everyone else's creatures, we get a blood token and gain a life. Mangara the Diplomat, card draw, you know what it does. Wreath Tithe Extractor, whenever you attack creature gains death touch, so another way of getting some damage through. And whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you get a treasure token. Look at the top card of that player's library, exile it, and you can play it, basically, for, as long as it remains exiled. So that's cool. Syndicate Heavy is also in from the Clue set. The Extort value is nice. Hopefully we can gain 4 more life every so often and get a Clue token. SDL or Reclaimer comes in from Edge of Eternities. Another warrior, so we can return things. Return target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. So hopefully if we've got some of our other things killed off, we'll get them back this way. Celestine, the Living Saint, comes in from 40k land. At the beginning of your end step, you get to return something with mana value X or less from the battlefield, where X is our life we gained this turn. So yeah, we should have some life gain things. We should be okay. Because I've been playing Endrick a lot recently, he popped in here today. So we have the Thralls. Ogre Slumlord just gives us a lot of little extra rats that have Death Touch, which makes attacking, well, us being attacked a little bit more complicated if our creatures are being killed off. And then Venerated locks it on, just so we can convoke it in play and chuck a whole load of +1/+1 counters around, basically. But that's the party. As you can see, they all fit in with the creature types we need for our wonderfulness over here, the Cleric, Rogue, Warrior and Wizard, so that's nice. Then Sorceries, well, Collective Effort comes in, just so we've got a few ways of choosing things we need to do. Damnation for control, along with Day of Judgment, Wrath of God and Blood Money. And then just as a backup win, I put Approach of the Second Sun in, purely because I like it, and I nearly lost to it the other day and I forgot, and then I remembered it existed, so it came in today. Instants are all pretty much removal, so Fatal Push, Path to Exile, Swords, Go for the Throat, or whichever 2 mana one you want to put in. I put Go for the Throat in because there tends to be more non-artifact creatures I come up against at the moment. Mortify, and then Game Changer with Teferi's Protection, so we can save everything, and a Chroma's Will, so I like doing my Alpha Strike. That's what it's here for. The artifacts are all ramp based because we need to get there. So Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, the Elixir of Immortality, shuffle everything back in when it goes pear shaped. Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Charcoal Diamond, Jet Medallion, Marble Diamond, Mind Stone, Pearl Medallion, Talisman of Hierarchy and Thought Vessel. All our artifacts are ramp, nothing fancy there. But the enchantments do get a little bit better, I'll be honest. Land tax, so we can go and find the lands we need. Flowering of the White Tree to protect all our creatures, well, protect all our legendary creatures, I should say, giving them ward and +2/+1, and pumping up everything else by +1/+1. Still think it's a nice card. Don't see much of it, but it's still good. The Meat Hook Massacre gives a bit more mass removal if we need it. Path of Bravery, hopefully we'll get there and have our life total above 40 a lot of the time, so we get the +1/+1 all the time. Because I've already broken the rules with Teferi's Protection, it seemed pointless not to have Smothering Tithing, and you know, D&D, you've got to pay your adventurers somehow, so yeah. Virtue of Loyalty and the Fealties in, just so we can chuck around more +1/+1 counters and tap all our creatures. True Conviction is just a bit of fun from my point of view. You can drop it out if you don't want to pay the 6 mana to have this running around, but giving all your creatures double strike and lifelink is pretty good. I think we can all agree on that one. Virtue of Persistence is in as well, just so we can nick things from a graveyard and gain it and have another bit of targeted removal at -3/-3. Admittedly, it's sorcery speed, so it's not great, but it's better than nothing. The 2 life helps occasionally as well. And then the Funeral Room and the Awakening Hall. Yeah, adventurers die in Dungeons and Dragons and then somehow they always get resurrected. Yeah, anyway, had to put that in there. That's more of a fun card. Again, something else you can take out if you want to, but I'm playing it this way. Lands, well, nothing fancy. All of the black-white lands you can probably imagine are in the deck. I will point out that Dalkovian Encampment's quite nice because if we're short of warriors, this, if we do it right, does give us some warriors. So, you know, yeah, never know. Doesn't quite work with the triggers in the Nalia, but it still gives a bit of party feel, so I went for it. Take it out if you don't want it in. Everything else is pretty much what you expect. 10 plains, 7 swamps, plus Urborg, and that's it. That is my take on Nalia de Arson today. Yeah, a bit of fun, bit of a strange one, a bit of a different one. See what else we get from the randomness this week, but I quite like this one. I'm looking forward to playing this one when I get my stream sorted out again. So keep an eye out for when I go live. There's a link down below to Twitch. You can come and follow me there, see me play this out. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, help me beat the YouTube algorithm, and I'll be back tomorrow with another random one, which is actually chucked up one from Final Fantasy I hadn't covered. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye bye.